Today I'm going to be helping you to complete the graphic organizer to summarize information on the characteristics of life. Your graphic organizer can be found in your student handbook. It is titled Characteristics of Life and Life Processes. We're going to start by making sure you understand the organization of a living thing. If you will locate on your graphic organizer the pyramid, which has lines to divide the pyramid into sections. You will see that starting at the bottom of the pyramid, all living organisms are composed of atoms, and atoms make up elements. So you should write atoms/elements in at the bottom of your pyramid. Atoms and elements combine to make molecules. So that will go just above the atoms and elements. Molecules then combine to make cells. Cells are important because cells are where the Stirringer life processes begins. Cells can carry out the Stirringer life processes. And while all matter in our universe is composed of atoms and molecules, only living organisms are composed of cells. Cells combine to make larger units called tissues. Tissues combine to make organs. So for example, your eye is an organ. Your eye is composed of nervous tissue. It is composed of muscular tissue. It is composed of epithelial tissue, which covers it. All of these tissues together make up the organ of your eye. Organs work together to make up systems. For example, you have your digestive system consisting of your stomach, your esophagus, your accessory organs such as the pancreas, your intestines, and so forth. These systems then combine to make up an organism. Organism is at the top of the pyramid. You are an organism. A tree is an organism. A bacteria is an organism. Any living thing is called an organism. Next, we're going to be looking at the 6 characteristics that all living things share. You will notice on your graphic organizer that there is a chart titled 6 Characteristics of All Living Organisms. In the first row of that chart, you should write energy use / metabolism. This is the first characteristic that every living thing does. Now you'll also notice that beneath the chart there is a diagram of what looks like a spider. This is what we call the Stirringer spider. Stirringer are the life processes, and the life processes are embedded within the characteristics of life. So energy use or metabolism is a characteristic of every living thing. That characteristic includes 4 life processes. So on the 4 legs of the spider, any of them, it doesn't matter which ones, you are going to write in the terms synthesis, which means to make, transport, which means to move, nutrition, which means food, and respiration, which means to make energy. Once again, these are 4 Stirringer life processes. S, synthesis, T, transport, N, nutrition, and one of the R's in Stirringer is respiration. And it doesn't matter where on the legs of the spider you put these 4, we will eventually fill them all in. What I want you to understand is that these life processes are embedded within the characteristic of using energy. Organisms use energy to make molecules. For example, plants make food. Organisms use energy to move molecules and other things throughout their bodies. For example, our bloodstream transports nutrients to our cells. Organisms use energy to gain nutrition. For example, we eat food. And organisms use energy in food and convert that to a form that our cells can use. This is called respiration. So all four of these Sturringer life processes make up our energy use or metabolism. This once again is an illustration of those four life processes. Plants using light energy to synthesize or make food. Blood using energy to transport materials throughout the body. Food is consumed by organisms for nutrition and is broken down. And organisms use that food in the process of cellular respiration to produce energy in a form that their bodies can use. Moving on now to the next characteristic that living things share. So back to your chart on the 6 characteristics of all living organisms. In the second row, you are going to write reproduction. Reproduction is not only a characteristic of life, but it is also considered a Sturringer life process. So not only will you write the word reproduction in the second row of the chart, but you will also move down to the Sturringer spider and write the word reproduction, defined to make more individuals, on one of the spider's legs. Additionally, the third characteristic of life is growth and development. So this will go in the third row of the chart. It's also considered a life process. So you will also write growth and development on one of the spider's legs. Growth and development is defined as getting bigger and changing. So to make sure you understand this, you can see that reproduction occurs when a parent individual, or two parents in many cases, produce new individuals. Growth, of course, means getting larger over time. Development means changing in addition to getting larger. Once again, both reproduction and growth and development are characteristics of life, but they are also considered life processes. Back up on your chart, the next characteristic of life is responding to stimuli. Living organisms have the capability to react to stimuli in their environment. This corresponds to the life process of regulation. So you will record respond to stimuli in your chart on the 6 characteristics of life. And you will put regulation on the Sturringer spider. Regulation referring to adjusting to changes. So that might mean your pupils dilating when the lights go out. You have responded to the stimulus of the light going out. Your body has regulated the size of your pupil. The next characteristic of life is adjusting to the environment. This also corresponds to regulation, but you've already written regulation in your Sturringer spider. So after you have recorded adjust to the environment on your chart for the 6 characteristics of life, you want to record the life process excretion on the Sturringer spider. Excretion is defined as to get rid of. This is a part of adjusting to one's environment. When your body consumes a lot of water or other materials, it is going to produce waste, which you then need to get rid of in order to maintain a constant environment in your body. So your body uses regulation to respond to stimuli, as well as to make adjustments to help maintain homeostasis. For example, excreting waste is an adjustment to help maintain homeostasis. Excretion gets rid of waste materials in your body and helps you to regulate your body's temperature. Now, if you will notice, up in the right-hand corner of your graphic organizer, there is a space to record the definition for homeostasis. Homeostasis is defined as maintaining a constant internal environment. And as you can see by following the arrows on the graphic organizer, organisms are able to maintain homeostasis through the Sturringer life processes.